Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing a bunch of makeup products with you that I have been absolutely loving recently. Almost all of these products also happen to be new launches. There's a few exceptions. Those that are not new launches are just new to me and new to my collection. So I thought I would include them in this video as well because I wanted to give you guys a nice variety of products across different categories. So we have a little bit of everything in this video: foundation, concealer, mascara, bronzer, blush, powder, lips, the whole nine. So if you are interested in seeing some makeup that I've been obsessed with, you're in the mood to purchase some new goodies, then you've come to the right spot, and we're gonna jump into that in a second. But before we do, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, click on that notification bell, and drop a comment below letting me know a makeup product that you have not been able to get enough of lately. Thank you so much for doing all of those things. It really helps to support me with the YouTube algorithm, so I appreciate you so much. And if you need anything from me at all, check out my description box below. I have Lightroom preset filters for editing your Instagram photos, my SPF merch, timestamps, discount codes, links to all the products that I'll be sharing today, and links to my favorite beauty products of all time. All right, let's talk makeup. All right, let's start off with complexion first. I have a foundation from NARS that's a newer launch here called their Light Reflecting Foundation. I'm sure a lot of you have heard of this at this point because this has gotten a ton of hype on social media. I did review this in a video where I actually did a little kinda wear test showdown between 5 different new complexion product launches that have all been really hyped up on social. So if you haven't seen that yet and you're interested to see how this compares to a bunch of other top rated new launches, I will list that below. But spoiler alert, this was the winner for me from that video. This was definitely my favorite. I think that it is beautiful. So this is a medium coverage foundation, and they say it has a natural finish. On me, without powder, it has a subtly glowy finish, I would say. It definitely looks radiant and pretty and healthy, but it's not shiny or wet looking, which I really love as someone with skin that leans oily. With setting powder at first, I would say it looks more like a natural finish, kind of like a natural satiny feel, but as the day goes on with a few hours of wear and my oils start to come through, it just looks, again, subtly glowy and healthy, and I really, really love the way that this holds up throughout the day and the way that this ends up looking, because it gives me that fresh kind of just healthy, juicy look to the skin without it being a greasy, juicy look. Like there's a really, I don't even want to say fine line. I feel like there's a big line between those two things for me, and so many complexion products these days make my skin look greasy by the end of the day, and this does not do that, but it still lets me look glowy and doesn't mattify my skin or make it look dry, because I don't want that either. I want the nice in between. So I think that this is a really awesome option for any of you that want, you know, that kind of finish on the skin, that have normal to oily skin. If you have dry skin, I don't know that you'll be obsessed with this. Again, I don't think you'll hate it since it's not going to make you look dry, but NARS does have some other options that are even glowier, so maybe go for those if you really want that oomph. But otherwise, this is super nice. Coverage holds up throughout the day, just all around great foundation. NARS honestly never disappoints me though, so can't say I'm surprised. Next, we have a concealer that I actually used to hate, like really, really hate. When I first tried this out, I thought that it looked so heavy under my eyes. It settled into lines. It looked cakey. It just, all around, every angle that you could look at it from, it was a horrible concealer in my opinion. So I got rid of it, I moved on, and then my mom, shout out to you, Lori, if you're watching, she started talking about this and she was like, it's amazing, everybody misuses it and then ends up hating it, but if you use it the right way, it is beautiful. And my mom is always right, so I was like, fine, I'll try it, even though I don't want to because I remember hating it. And she was right. So if you've tried this before and you hated it as well, hear me out. Let me just show you how to use this, because I promise you will be shocked. You end up with the most beautiful under eye area ever, but you have to be so, so, so careful about the amount that you use. Oh my gosh, I should probably tell you what this is before we move on. So this is the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye Full Coverage Anti-Aging Waterproof Concealer. I know some of you are looking at me right now like, girl, you're crazy, that thing is intense. And it is if you use this like a typical concealer. So if you were to do like the triangle under the eye, the, you know, multiple swipes, even what everyone's doing on TikTok now, where it's like the little bit here and the little bit here, no, even that's too much. So let me show you how my mom taught me to use this. And even when I did the little close-up here of squeezing this out of the tube, I squeezed too much out. So just squeeze the tiniest amount. My mom says like the size of couscous, and then you will take that and rub it between your fingers to warm up the product. And you will see as you do that, that it kind of like expands and spreads out and thins out. And because I used too much here, I did not even apply all of that to my under eye area. So if you feel like you used a little too much, or honestly even just start out with less and then you can always add on more, just like leave it on your fingers if you're picking up what I'm putting down. So now that we have that product warmed up between the fingers, we are going to take a finger and just press that underneath the eye area. Pressing is key here. My mom says no swiping, no tapping, none of that. You just have to press so that that product can sink in. And again, make sure that you're not packing on the product. Less is more here. You really do not need much at all. This is the result that you got. I think that it's so pretty. You get that full coverage, but with this technique, you don't look like you're wearing a ton of makeup under the eyes. It's not looking heavy and cakey. It's so, so, so nice and really, oh my gosh, helps to get rid of dark circles and just delete any darkness that you have under the eyes. So that is the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye. It really is magic in a little tube, but only if you're using it that way. Otherwise, it's gonna look horrible. It will. So proceed with caution here, but if you're down for a little bit of finessing with this concealer, then I think you will love it. All right, let's move on to powder next. This is from Kosas and it's their Feathery Cloud Set Powder. Look. I don't know why I said that like that. I mean, it looks like a normal powder. So this is supposed to be a super soft sheer setting and smoothing powder baked with skincare that sweeps away shine, not glow, and feels like nothing but looks like everything. Whoever wrote that description needs a raise. So this is a baked, really soft powder that really reminds me of the MAC mineralized skin finish powders that I used to really, really love, but this is definitely softer and not as dry as that MAC formula. It's really nice. I have the shade, doesn't say, so I'll list it below. But I've really been liking this for complexion products that I want to set in place without altering or manipulating the finish of that much. Obviously, no matter what, when you're putting powder on top of something wet like that, it's going to change the finish a little bit, but this does so in such a subtle way. I feel like the most subtle way out of any powder that I've ever used. It's definitely not mattifying. There's no shimmery reflex in this, so it's not going to look like you have highlighter all over your face. It's not gonna add any sort of luminance in that way. It just softly sets and then lets it be. What? Like lets your complexion product be what it's supposed to be, if that makes sense. So I would definitely recommend this if you are looking for a powder like that that's not going to majorly change the finish of your foundation, but I will say I'm not obsessed with this under the eyes. I feel like my concealer often creases if I try to set with this, so not my favorite for that, but for the rest of my face, I think that it's really nice. But if you have super oily skin and you're looking for something to control your oils throughout the day, this will not be for you, so just be aware of that. Otherwise, I think it's a very nice powder. All right, next up is bronzer. This is something that I recommended in my Sephora VIB video, so it will look familiar to you if you watch that. It's the newest powder bronzer to my collection, but it is officially my favorite bronzer of all time. Yeah, I can officially say that. It's the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Bronzer, and I am in love with it. Here she is, y'all. Oh man, it's so good. So this is technically a matte bronzer, but it definitely doesn't look chalky or dry on the skin. It's a very soft powder. It's really blendable, and it has the perfect amount of pigment to where it shows up enough, like it's not so sheer that you can't see it, but it's very buildable. It's not overly pigmented, so you can really work with this to add more pigment if you want it, or less if you want it to be more subtle. And it's just so freaking beautiful. I feel like it has a very just like natural soft finish on the skin. No shimmers or glitters, which I don't love in a bronzer, so that is perfect. And this is the shade 2, which is what I use when I have self-tanner on, like right now. But when I do not and I have fair skin, shade 1 is a really nice match for me. And it's perfect. It's not too orange. It's not looking like that at all, but it's not muddy and super, super cool. Like, I don't know, something about this just works so well in every single way possible. Oh, it's good. Okay, let's move on to blush. I have 3 different options here, and I couldn't narrow it down to just one because these are all different formulas and finishes. So I have a liquid, a kind of cream, puttyish one, and then a powder option. So whatever you're interested in, I've got you. Let's start off with the powder option. This is from Hourglass, and it's their ambient lighting blush in the shade Mood Exposure. These ambient lighting powders are so interesting to me. They have their bronzer set up like this too, where I'm like, how could this possibly look good when you have all of that really, really light highlightery shade swirled in there, but somehow it just works and it turns out to be the most perfect, neutral, I was gonna call it baby doll pink, but it's not really like light. That's probably not the right word, but if a neutral pink could have a little hint of baby doll to it, that would be this blush. It's just so beautiful, and even though it's a powder, it has such a gorgeous radiance to it without it being too shimmery and too glittery, none of that. It's just like this really soft, healthy, glowy finish, and it's so beautiful. I love this so much. The color, the finish, everything. It's a really nice soft powder. You can't go wrong with this. Oh my gosh. The cream option is from MAC actually. So they came out with these blushes, I believe in the spring, called their Glow Play blushes, and they have this really cool putty-like texture. Oh my gosh, I just got a flashback. The deja vu. What was that old makeup product that was so popular? It had this putty, I'm sure there were several, but there was this one popular product that I remember doing this to, but I think it was low-key bad. And this is low-key really good. So this, again, is their Glow Play blush in the shade Blush Please. Really similar to that Hourglass blush in that it's a neutral everyday pink, but this one is definitely deeper. And I love this formula because yes, it's creamy, but it's not something that looks super greasy or shiny on the skin. It's not too intense in that way, but it definitely is still very pretty and radiant. So that is such a gorgeous blush. And the last blush is something that went super viral on TikTok. I believe it's because Madison Beer used it in her makeup routine and everyone wants to look like her. This is the NARS Orgasm Liquid Blush, and it is incredible. I was super skeptical about this because of the formula. It's a very liquidy blush. I was nervous it was going to not hold up well on my skin throughout the day and look too shiny, but it is beautiful. The shade is perfect. I do not understand. At first, when I swatched it on my hand, I was like, this is just too much of a bright light pink, but somehow it just meshes into the skin and looks amazing. This is crazy pigmented as well, so I would not recommend applying it directly to the cheeks. Instead, I will put it on the back of my hand, rub it out a little bit, and then pick it up with a brush and then apply it that way. And oh my gosh, it just gives you the most beautiful, naturally flush looking cheeks. And this also lasts all day long, even though it's a liquid, and I can apply this on top of powder if I want to as well. So really versatile in application, works on top of creams, liquids, powders. What? This is, I mean, this is worth the hype. I know why this went viral. All right, I have one recommendation for highlighter. This is from Iconic London. I'd actually never tried anything from this brand before, and they sent this to me in PR, so I was like, okay, we'll try it out. I don't know. I was blown away. This is so, so good. So this is actually a blush highlighter duo palette called their Silk Glow Duo in the shade Rose Glow. I think the blush is equally as beautiful, but since, you know, we need a highlighter, and I love this highlighter too. So this highlighter, oh my gosh, you guys, this kind of reminds me a little bit of Champagne Pop, but now that I'm saying that, I'm like, does it really? It's just that really beautiful wearable champagne shade. It has, I would say, a little bit more gold in it probably than what I'm remembering from Champagne Pop, but it's just such a nice soft powder. You can get this beaming on the cheeks if you want to, or if you want to tone it down, you definitely can do that too for a more of a subtle glow. It's just really, really nice. It's not, I don't know, I feel like I've tried a lot of highlighters recently. I don't know why I said that. That's definitely not true. It's not been recent, but like when I think about the highlighters that I've purchased over the past couple of years, I feel like I've tried a lot that are just kind of flaky and like flake off the cheeks. This is nothing like that. It's so, so nice. And this blush is, I mean, properly named Iconic. It is so good. It honestly is really comparable in color to the NARS Orgasm Blush. Wow, I didn't even notice that. Oh my gosh, these are really similar actually. So if you wanted that same exact kind of color from NARS, but you just don't like to play with liquids, then pick this up. Sorry, I just blinded you. Pick this up, you will love it so much, and then you're getting the beautiful highlight in there as well. Okay, this is something that I'm really excited to share with you because I get asked all the time what I use to create my brown winged liner right here, even though some of you absolutely hate my brown winged liner. The thing about winged liner is you will always have days where you just do not get it right and the wings are looking funky, they're going in different directions, they're not lined up right on the face. That's just the name of the game with winged liner. It really is a gamble and it's a risk that I have been willing to take because when it turns out right, I'm obsessed with it. Like I just can't not do it. So when I see comments like, that's not how you do winged liner, I'm like, you guys, I know. It was an off day for me, okay? But I wanted to find something that I could recommend to you guys for the eyeshadow winged liner because I have just continued to use my Tartelette, what was it? Not In Bloom. What is that? The Tartelette Juicy Palette, that's right. So I bought this, I think, last spring and I've been using it ever since, but they discontinued it. It seemed like almost immediately and then came back out with this smaller version that does not have all the good shades. It's not as good. I don't know why they did that, but I've always felt bad because I'm asked about my winged liner all the time and I'm like, it's discontinued. So I went hunting in Sephora and I found something that I'm so excited to share with you guys because this is for you guys who have been looking for something to create the perfect brown shadow winged liner. So this is, well, I should show you what it is, huh? The Makeup by Mario Master Mattes Palette. So this I love for creating winged liner because you have so many different options here. Yes, you have a black, you have different tones of brown, but you can also mix the shades together to create custom tones for whatever you're in the mood for. And I like to use this first row here to kind of mix and match as well, to lay down all over my lid, actually up to my brow bone. So that is what I will always do when I do a shadow wing, because a lot of the times that can transfer and smudge if I don't have powder laid down. So I'll use shades like this to kind of brighten that area just a little bit subtly and then have a nice base so that this will last all day long. So this not only has tons of great shades for creating shadow liner, but the formula itself is perfect for that too. It just lays down really well. I don't have fallout on the rest of my face from it. It's all around a great palette and I actually love that it's compact because perfect for travel. Okay, we need to talk about this mascara. It is the MAC Max Stack Mascara that went so viral. It blew out of stock everywhere and you could not get your hands on this. So I was searching everywhere, had no luck. I found it at a Nordstrom rack, you guys. I was like, I hit the jackpot. So I have been testing this out for a while and I have a love-hate relationship with this. Let's look at the wand. So it has this tapered shape and the bristles are plastic and the wand is firm, which I like. I don't like a flexible wand. I feel like I don't ever get as good a result with a really flexible bendy wand. The formula itself, I would say, leans a little bit on the drier side, but it's a really good formula and this makes my lashes so long. I could not believe the first time I used this. I was like, oh my gosh, makes them so long, separates them, and adds a good amount of volume so that they're not like skinny and spidery looking when they're long. There's a lot of mascaras that do that. So this is amazing, but the issue that I was having with this is that no matter what concealer powder combination I used, I was always getting mascara smudges underneath my eye, like in that area here, and I never have that problem. I wasn't getting smudges on top, and I think that's because of the technique that I was explaining before, where I use eyeshadow and put that all over my lid. But I was getting it under my eye and it was driving me crazy. So what I have done to make this mascara work for me is I don't use it on my lower lash line and then I don't have a problem. So if that's something that you're like, what, I want to be able to use it on the top and bottom, then this won't be for you. But if you're okay using something else on your lower lash line, then I think that this is worth it because wow, this gives me such good lashes. I feel like I saw someone DM me, if I'm remembering correctly, saying that that flaked off their lashes really badly. I'm curious if any of you have had that issue. I do not have that problem at all. No flakes, it holds up for me. It's very good, it really is. Okay, we're gonna do lips last. I have one random little gadget here that I can't forget about. I actually don't even know what this is called. It's the Beauty Blender Puff thingy. This went viral on TikTok as well. We clearly have a theme here, and this is something that, from what I'm remembering, the person who first reviewed it was showing because it kind of like deletes your pores. It's a way to really get powder to sink into the pores and make your skin look really smooth and blurred, which it definitely does. So I'll even show you guys. Let's just do it here, even though I have a clip of it. Okay. That powder just got all over my pants. So even a powder like this, it's not supposed to be a mattifying powder. There's just something about this. I don't even know what to call this, you guys. Okay, like let's look at this cheek. That just, see that? Whoa. Okay, well now I gotta do it all over. At first on me, it looks too matte, but then if I just kind of like brush over the top of it with another makeup brush, it helps to bring that back to life. Wow. So I mean, if you have dry skin, you're gonna have probably no interest in this. I mean, you could still use it just lightly and not like press it into those areas, but if you're oily girl, you're going to be obsessed with this because wow, look at that. I'm sure a lot of you are like, why would you do that? It took away the glow. I'm just trying to show you. Okay, since we're wrapping up with lip products, I obviously have to touch up my lipstick. I've actually been sitting here for 2 hours trying to film this video. It's just one of those days for me where I have to say every sentence 700 times because nothing's coming out right, so that's why my lipstick was gone. Well, let's just start off with this then, shall we? So this is the Fenty Slip Shine Sheer Shiny Lipstick in the shade Goji Gang. This is so beautiful. It's exactly what it's called, a sheer shiny lipstick, and this is a really, really pretty, I would say slightly rosy mauve shade. Oh my gosh, it feels so nice and soft on the lips, very conditioning. It's really, really good. It's not crazy long lasting, like we obviously just saw that it was gone within 2 hours. I did have a gloss on top of it, so that could have contributed, but I'm totally fine consistently reapplying something like this because it feels so good on the lips. So really beautiful. I am super obsessed with a sheer shiny lip. That's like all I want to wear anymore. Speaking of juicy shiny lip products, this is the Tarte Maracuja Lip Plump, and I saw this display in Ulta and I was like, I wonder if that could be a dupe for the Makeup by Mario lip serum that has been sold out forever, I swear. And I think that it's very, very similar in the effect that it gives on the lips. So this one I have in the shade Mixed Berries. Beautiful. I'm so obsessed. It's just such a gorgeous neutral pink. So this is something that I would say, number one, does look so similar on the lips to the Makeup by Mario lip serum. It's juicy, it has that same kind of effect, but you have the ability to make this more pigmented than that product. So if you want this to be just a little bit higher in color coverage, you can definitely take it there and you don't have to use, you know, a ton of product to do that. You don't have to build it up like crazy, but you can also get this to have that sheer effect as well. It's versatile in that way, which I really love. The only thing about this to be mindful of is that it definitely does tingle on the lips at first, so if you don't like that, then this won't be for you. Otherwise, I think that it's really pretty, and they have a lot of really nice wearable shades. Next up is a lip oil from Sigma, actually. So they sent this to me in PR, and I don't know if I've ever tried Sigma makeup before. I have their brushes. I'm obsessed with their brushes, but their makeup, I was like, I don't really know what to expect from this, and it is so good. I'm obsessed. I have not been able to stop wearing this. Oh my God, I love it. Okay, so the shade here is All Heart. So this is the Sigma lip oil. Oh my gosh. It's just such a beautiful, slightly mauve pink, and I love the amount of color in this. It's perfect. It's a little bit more than something like the Dior lip oil, which I feel like is a barely there kind of kiss of color. This is still really subtle, don't get me wrong, but it's just a little bit more. And I feel like it brings more life to the lips. It's so pretty and so comfortable. It feels incredible. Very, very similar vibes, if not almost identical, to the Clarins lip oil that you guys know I love so much. They recently changed that formula and it's not the same, and I'm really upset about it. So I have been reaching for this nonstop. And they do have at least one other shade, if not more, if this is not up your alley, but oh my God, this is so good. K Sigma. And last, we have these lip products from Natasha Denona. I know that this looks like a lot, but it's really just the lipstick and lip gloss combo. I just bought all 3 shades because I have problems. So this was from a spring collection from Natasha Denona called I Need a Rose. So they have 3 different shades available in this collection, available in a lipstick, a lip gloss, and a lip liner, I'm pretty sure. I didn't pick up any of the liners, but these are so pretty. I was so drawn into the display because all of the shades, I was like, oh my God, they're my kind of shade. You'll see that. Perfect, wearable. Oh, they're good. I will show you all 3 of these color combos on my lips, but I'll quickly touch on formula. I've always been a fan of the Natasha Denona lip product formulas because they're just super comfortable. So the lipstick feels very nice and conditioning. It's a lightweight formula, which I really like. And the gloss feels so, so good, but I will say it's not a super long lasting gloss. I mean, I don't know if any of my lip glosses are long lasting now that I think about it, but I just think these 2 products together look so stunning. Regardless of the shade that you pick, they just complement each other so well. And I've actually really been loving mixing and matching. So like I'll use one color in the lipstick and a different color in the gloss. And oh, you obviously don't need to buy all of these, but let's talk about the colors. So first is Peony, which is just a true light pink, super, super pretty, very fresh, girly, springy, summery. Oh, gorgeous. Okay, the next one, I don't know how to pronounce this. It's spelled K-A-L-L-A. So like, are you trying to be Kayla, Kaya, Kala? I'm not sure, but this is the, I would say, brownie toned pink. Gorgeous. If you have always been interested in more of a brown toned pink, but you don't want something to look straight up brown on the lips, this is going to be for you. It's such a wearable way to do something that's a little bit more brown. Oh my gosh, what? I love it. And last is the shade Daphne, which is a slightly mauve toned pink. This kind of shade, you guys, really gets to me. Daphne is probably my favorite of the 3 if I had to pick, but I just think you can't go wrong with these. They're all a perfect pink with just like a little bit of something special. Oh my gosh. So I'm clearly a sucker for a good lip combo. I have so many lip combos that I would love to share with you guys, and I feel like I always see comments on my videos like, what is on your lips? And I always forget because I'm constantly mixing and matching. So if you want to see a video where I just show you a bunch of different lipstick and lip gloss combinations, let me know. I am so down. It's gonna be one of those videos where everything looks pretty much the same, but like different enough if you're into lipstick. I would absolutely love to do a video like that because I'm obsessed with lips. I feel like it's the first thing I notice in a video when someone is doing makeup. I'm always drawn to a beautiful wearable lip color. So naturally, I've got about 700 of those. All right, we're going to wrap up this video here. Those are all of the makeup products that I wanted to share with you guys. I hope that you enjoyed this video and you're feeling inspired to play with new makeup. I mean, if not, hopefully it was just fun for you to watch. You'll have to let me know in the comments below, as always, if you're going to pick anything up after watching this video. If you do want to purchase anything, as always, I will have everything listed. What was that? I don't know. All these products will be listed and linked in my description box below in order of mention, so it's easy and organized for you to find. If you did enjoy this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, click on that notification bell, and send my channel to a friend. Thank you so much for doing all of those things. As always, your support means the world. Thank you guys for watching. I love you so much. Stay tuned for my next video because that will be up in a few days, but until then, I hope you have a great few days.